Alright, we've talked a lot about supplementary angles and not so much about complementary. Complementary angles are two angles that add up to equal 90 degrees. They hold a special place in a right triangle because in a right triangle, one of the angles is already 90 degrees. They all have to add up to 180, so the two other angles that you're left with are complementary. They add up to 90 degrees every time. So if you take a look at angle A is marked in pink. Across from angle A is the opposite side, again in pink. Alright, so opposite from angle A is side CB. Adjacent to angle A is AC, right? That's marked in pink. Well, if I switch it and I look at angle B, well, opposite is AC. Notice opposite and adjacent are side by side. They switch places. Adjacent to B was A's opposite. So this makes up or sets up a special relationship between sine and cosine when it comes to complementary angles. Okay, so what does this mean for trig? If I wrote out my sine of A, I've got sine of angle A equals A over C. I've got cosine equals B over C. Alright, so if I go over here and look at sine of B, sine of angle B equals B over C, where cosine of B equals A over C. So if you take a look at my fractions, sine of A is the fraction A over C. Cosine of B is the fraction A over C. So those two are equal to each other. So here they are. The two fractions are equal. Cosine of A is B over C. And sine of B is B over C. So they're the same. So the relationship between angle A and B is that they're going to add up to equal 90 degrees. So they are complementary. So what would that look like on a quiz or a worksheet? Well, the kind of questions that you'll get is something like this. If the sine of 25 degrees is approximately 0.4225, what is the cosine of 65 degrees without using your calculator? Well, if you take a look right here, 65 and 25 add up to equal 90 degrees. Since they add up to equal 90 degrees, I know that the cosine of 65 is the exact same as the sine of 25. So the answer is just approximately 0.4225. It's the exact same thing. The other way that they can ask you is they can say if the sine of 31 degrees is approximately 50.5150 and the cosine of some other angle is approximately 0.5150, what does angle B equal? Well, we're just kind of working it backwards. Since I know that the sine of one is equal to the cosine of the other, then I know that those two angles have to add up to equal 90 degrees. So 31 plus some angle B equals 90 degrees. Angle B is 59 degrees. And that's it for the relationship between complementary and complementary angles.